What's up, everybody? So I just got back from Comic-Con, which was super exciting. Let me show you guys this badass shirt I just picked up. If you know what that is, you know what that is. But anyway, back to what we're really about, right? Short-term rentals, Airbnb, and how we do things. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the top 3 things that you absolutely must do in your very first Airbnb when you go live. Number 1, you absolutely have to have a door lock. Not just any door lock, you gotta have a keypad door lock. Never ever do you want to give keys to any of your guests. Don't do lock boxes. You never know what's gonna happen, right? Anybody can take a key, they can go make a copy and come back one later when your future guest is sleeping and rob your home or whatever, right? I've seen too many scary stories out there, scary host stories, about how people actually come in and break into places while other guests are there or when the place is vacant. Thank God it's never happened to me, but I don't want it happening to you. So the very first thing you absolutely must do is change out all your door locks to keypad codes. Now, keypad codes are really important because you can change your code every single time a new reservation comes in. Now, this should be without saying, a lot of you hosts out there will be like, duh, obviously, but you'd be surprised. I just did an Airbnb while I was in Comic-Con and they gave us an actual key. They're not professional hosts, they don't know any better, sure, the place was beautiful, but they should have had a door keypad code, right? Some of these keypad door codes out there, the main ones you guys want to use, I use the Yale SL Assure lock. You make sure it's the SL with the Wi-Fi bridge connect. That one you can connect to the Wi-Fi. So basically what it is the door lock itself, it connects to a little Wi-Fi box, and then it connects to your internet and you can set it up with your phone here. And so on your phone, it's simple, it's the Yale app. It looks just like this. These are all some of my properties I use Yale. Sorry, I know my light back there's ruining it. There we go, whoops. And what it does is you can connect the app to your Airbnb account, and then after every single reservation, so you connect that lock to that property, and every time you get a reservation, it sends an automatic code to the lock itself through Wi-Fi and to the guest. So now the guest has a lock. Now it's not fail-proof, it does fail from time to time, but it helps you at least save some sort of automation where you don't have to sit there and set codes every single time. The second best door lock is the Schlage Connect. Those are really good. You can set the codes. I don't know if those use an app. The ones that I use, they connect directly to Hospitable. They work great. They're, again, not fail-proof. They do fail a lot, but you could set codes, and so what I do is I have a backup code for every single one, right? Number 3, I use the quick set locks, okay? Quick set locks, you can also do backups, but I use this one because I set it up with my security system. Some of my properties use the Vivint security system. If you guys want Vivint, I can give you a good referral code. It gives you a bunch of free stuff. I suggest you do it if you have anything larger than 3 bedrooms. You can put sensors and windows and all that stuff, but we'll get to that in a minute. Quick set locks, those work really well because they're integrated and they have what's called Z-Wave. Now, any lock that uses Wi-Fi is going to drain your batteries, okay? Z-Wave connects directly to the security panel like a Bluetooth, and the batteries don't drain as bad. Now, the 4th one that I want to tell you guys about is the August lock. August is one of the most popular ones. August actually owns Yale. So Yale locks are really good, but they work off the August system. Now it's like the month August, so it's August, it's a little round ball. We'll put a picture of it up here for you guys. They work the same way. It connects to your Airbnb account, it sets codes for you. Problem with the August locks is that the battery drains like that. Literally, you have to be changing them every single month, every 30 days. So you go through a lot of batteries. Does it work for you? If it works for you, awesome. If it doesn't, no big deal. I don't use them because I don't like going to have to change batteries, and it's not part of my system. Remember, what I do is at scale, so I have a lot of units. So therefore, I have to make the less minimal work for my system to work. Number 1, door locks, okay? Now, there's a ton of door locks out there, guys. If you guys don't like the 4 that I just gave you, they're just my favorite. They're just the ones that I've tried and true and actually used. There's one more that I actually do use right now. It's called remote lock. I don't want to talk about that one because I'm not a fan of it, but remote lock is also one of them. But just go out there, do your research. There's hundreds and hundreds of locks. Number 2, absolutely have to have a doorbell camera. I mean, I can't believe I ever show up to people's properties sometimes and there's no doorbell camera. Like when you go out and you pitch this to landlords and investors and owners, even if it's your own property, you want to know who walks in through the door. Like, right? If I get a booking for 2 people and I see 7 people walk in, that's a red flag. I immediately contact them. So a door lock must have one. Now, let's be smart about it. Don't put any cameras inside the place. Don't be creepy, don't be weird, Make sure the door lock is outside. Don't put it on the door so that when it opens, you can see inside, like common sense. Put it on the actual outside of the door, left or the right, facing the street so that you can see, right? Porch Pirates, I actually just caught somebody stealing mail from my house the other day with my doorbell camera. There's different ones you can use. There's the Google Home ones. The ones I use personally are Ring. Ring is super inexpensive. They're like $3 a month. They work great. And going back to the Vivint system now, I use a security system for this one. It's not as my top 3 security system, but you do want to have some sort of security procedure. So technically number 2 is not just doorbell camera, it's a security system. Doorbell camera is a security system. My Vivint system is a security system. But the Vivint system, the cool thing with the camera that they put at the front door, number 1, it looks really nice and sleek, kind of like the Google ones, but they're wired. So they have to run a wire through the wall and plug in, so they never run out of batteries. The downside with the Ring cameras is that the batteries die really fast. So you have to constantly be changing them out as well. Unless you get the wired ones, but then again, they have to drill a hole through your house. Now, as far as the doorbell cameras, again, what I do is if it's a large place, I put cameras in the front and I put cameras in the back. I put a spotlight camera in the patio. Spotlight cameras get the overview, right? They're like the flood cameras. If it's a large property, I put some by my garage. I want to be as protected as possible. I don't want people messing with my property. I don't want people coming when it's empty. I want guests to know that they feel safe as well, but we do it outside because we also want them to have their peace of mind. We're not there watching them. Like, I don't sit there and be like, hey, my guest is smoking outside in my patio. You know, you don't want to be doing any of that. It's simple. All we want to do is make sure that they feel safe and that they're not breaking any house rules. It's that's all we want, okay? Now, so the type of cameras that you can use out there, they're the Ring cameras, they're the Google cameras. Best Buy actually has their own spotlight camera now. I haven't used them yet, but I've heard great things. They're Best Buy exclusive, but they work really well. The battery lasts a long time and they're HD. The floodlight cameras work really well. The Vivint security cameras work really well. There's a bunch of different ones out there. Again, there's hundreds and hundreds of cameras that you can use. Now, the number 3 that you must absolutely do when you're setting up a unit is making sure you have really clear check-in procedures, check-in instructions. Now, I actually made this a top 3 because I've gone to Airbnbs and places where it's impossible to find and I can't even get instructions from the host. All I get is an address and so I can figure it out. And I'm walking up and down the street, right? Whenever you set up a unit, the top thing, aside from your doorbell and your lock, are your check-in instructions. Now, the reason why I put this on here because it's not a physical object or an actual thing that you can put on your property, right? Like, I would even tell you guys to do the Stay-Fi. That could be a top 3, right? I have one right here for you guys. And I'm gonna make another video about this, but like, I wouldn't do this as my top 3 because it's not that important. Stay-Fis are to secure people's emails for direct bookings. But the reason why I chose clear check-in instructions is because I've had, funny story, I actually had a guest check in one time and I forgot to set up my check-in instructions and the guy shows up and he was lost and I didn't even know if they were coming, right? So really quickly I learned that one of the first things you need to set up when you have everything done in your unit is your check-in instructions. You want a message that explains exactly how to get from the parking lot, especially if you're in a big apartment complex, that goes from the parking lot straight to the door. You want to have a message that tells you, okay, if it's a house and they pull up to the front of the house, how to get to the door and how to use a door lock and how to walk in the door and where to park their car, all of that. You want to be as clear and precise as possible with your check-in instructions, okay? Because if you're in a apartment complex with 500 parking spots and 500 doors in 4 different buildings and they have to park 2 buildings down and walk to you, how are they going to get there? They're not going to know, right? So therefore you got to guide them from, hey, when you get to the address, it's going to show you the sign, pull into that driveway. You're going to go that driveway, you're going to see garage doors on your right hand side. You go past those garage doors. You're going to make a left on the first entrance. When you get into the first entrance, you're going to make a right on the second garage door. And that's gonna be your parking spot. From there, you turn around, you walk back towards the way you came in. You're gonna see the big blue building, walk up to the blue building. On the left, you will see the pool. Across the pool, you will see the elevator. You must go in the elevator, go up on the 2nd floor, make a right, and you're gonna see the door 5 steps down, right? I mean, I made that up as I was going, but you get the point. I'm very clear, very precise, and as detailed as possible. Now, if it's simple, like where you get an address and they pull up to the front, are they allowed to park in the driveway? Do they have to park in the garage? Is it a duplex? Can they park on the street? Is there street signs? You got to put all that in. You don't want to make somebody have an unpleasant check-in experience, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So, to recap, the top 3 things that you must do when you're setting up your brand new Airbnb, number 1, you need to do is get a door lock. Geez, I'm blanking here. A door lock. A good one, a keypad door lock. Number 2, security equipment, right? A good doorbell camera. Number 3, have very clear and precise check-in instructions so that your guests can make it to the door properly. Man, I hate getting lost when I go places. So hopefully this video was helpful. I know it was very short. I'm trying to keep them a little bit shorter than normal. I'm trying to give you guys as best information as I can. If you liked it, please subscribe, like it, share it, guys. I mean, I don't ask for the subscriptions, but like I'm trying to grow the channel, so subscribe it. The more people I get, the more it motivates me to make these videos, right? I want to give you guys the best content possible. And with that being said, I love you all, and I will see you on the next one.